Welcome to SIS Stories. This is Miss Bacigalupo's English 10 class, storytelling under the theme, Enter, Return. This is Boey's memoir. Listen to him talk about what happens to his understanding of home when he returns to a house of his past.
So excitement was what I initially felt when my parents announced that we would be moving to Jingshan early in 7th grade. I was excited to finally be in a new place. I wouldn't have to wake up at 6 a.m. every single morning just to go to school. I would be able to greet the lush green trees and the birds that go cuckoo every single morning that I used to see when I went to elementary school in Jingshan. My parents told me and my brother that the house would be much smaller, no more this theater room or that toy room, and there would be much less glamorous and grand, no more glimmering glass chandeliers, and no more fancy, rich people white marble walls. But really, me and my brother never cared about those things. It's only my parents. So on the very long car ride from the Lohu district to the Nanshan district, I was giddy of joy and excitement. Excitement to finally explore a new place, and excitement to live in a new place for a change. I recognized the same roads that the car took when we went to the new home. It was the same roads that I used to take every single day when I went to school. It was the same old traffic jams in Lohu, the same skyscrapers in Futian that I have to look all the way up to see at top, and the same red lights at Nanshan. I felt a bit melancholy when I realized this might be the last time I take these roads in this direction. When we reached the lush and dense canopies of Jingshan, I realized that I didn't even look back at my old childhood home that I lived in for 11 years when the car pulled away from the dry driveway for the last time. But you know what they say, cool guys don't look like explosions. And explosion was exactly what I felt when I stepped off the cool climate of the air-conditioned car into the heavy, dense, water-like air of Jingshan. It was an explosion of many mixed emotions. Here's what I felt. Number one, annoyance. There were so many mosquitoes. The people who went to Jingshan, you all know, they immediately come and eat your legs like fresh meat. So I scratched down and itched them. Two, I was extremely excited. Of course, like I said, it's a new place, a new home. How could I not be excited? I was excited to find out where things were, where my new room was, where the living room was, etc., etc. But then number three, I couldn't help but feel a bit underwhelmed as I nudged open the metal gate that was put in front of the house. It was rusted. My gentle nudge didn't result much, and it only creaked for 1 or 2 seconds before I halted to a stop. Annoyed, I pushed a little more and I walked and approached the rectangular wooden door. It was nothing special. It was a typical wooden door. I opened it, and I also couldn't help but feel a bit surprised. I didn't know what I expected, but I was a bit taken aback at how barren and unfurnished everything was. There weren't any furniture, and the wallpaper wasn't in place yet. There was nothing there except for tables and chairs and a few cardboard boxes laid across the floor. I was taken back at how boring and lifeless the house was. It was nothing compared like how lively my old house used to be. And this is when a wave of intense emotion hit me. I yearned to go back to the house I used to call home for 11 years. I yearned to go back to the memories, to return to my childhood where there wasn't a single care in the world, where homework was super easy. I glanced over to see my brother. He was only 7 back then. He was thin, small, naive. He didn't know how to multiply. He has never written a single essay. And of course, he was completely ecstatic. His smile was super wide. He was excited to explore every single part of the house. He poured himself over every single wooden plank, every concrete corner of the house. But me, I just wanted to go home. So I went into my new room. There was nothing there except for a blank bed, a nightstand with nothing on it, and an empty closet. I plopped myself down on the bed and I looked up to the blank ceiling. And I couldn't help but feel the blank canvas with the colorful pictures of my childhood memories. I couldn't help but think of the times the hours and days I spent playing with my Lego collection, building Millennium Falcons, dragons, cities, spaceships, and so much more, no matter what was in my imagination. I couldn't help but think of the taxidermy turtle, that whenever somebody stepped on it, something would also happen to their own foot, like crushed by a car tire, or someone with high heels would step on it. Everyone was like idolizing it, like some sort of like god. I was always quite this nostalgic person. I'd pore over old yearbooks, photos, photo albums, toys, and items. But unfortunately, my parents never kept them. All I have right now are only a few yearbooks. The furthest one I have back is from 7th grade. I tried looking for photo albums one day when we were researching. We were making a presentation for our social studies presentation. All I found was one with only like 3 photos. So I was extremely disappointed. But then days passed. Furniture gets moved in, the wallpapers get plastered, and life slowly fills into the house. And it's the little things that you realize. It's the tissue boxes that's laying on the table, countertops. And it's the photo frames that remind people of who you are, and it's the tables and the chairs, and then you can see how they're used. And slowly life fills into this new house, and the blank canvas that was is filled with colorful paintbrushes. That's life in our house. But soon after, anyways, we move out to a different house, and even though we moved to a different house, I still can't get over my first childhood home and all the memories and the childhood I left back in there.